really very, very short, right? The first thing I want to do is thank Quentin for putting this together and contacting me in Australia and asking me if I had some photos. Okay? And one thing led to the next, and the next thing I was trying to find an airplane flight. Okay? And Quentin, thank you very, very much for putting this together and inviting me. I also want to thank his brother, Rob. But there's a lot of rivalry between the two of them. As I said to Quentin last night, his older brothers drive us crazy. And I had one as well. I want to thank you guys first. It's been so nice to see you guys. And really, there's not much that I want to say, but I just want to let you all know that I personally participated. As you all know, Oprah Finkelstein had 8 kids. He had 5 sons and he had 3 daughters. Right? Now my mother was the oldest daughter. She came in somewhere amongst the boys. But she came in and she actually looked after Auntie Daphne and Auntie Grace. Those 2 girls used to go, as she said, used to go and sleep with my mother in the bed. And she used to bring them up. Okay? And it was great because my mother, Auntie Daphne was like my second mother, and I know because she gave me the broccoli many times. Okay? And Erica and Marius, they lived up in Johannesburg for a while, so we used to get into mischief, and Auntie Daphne and my mother would dish it out like you never believe. Okay? So my mother was one of the 3 daughters in the family. And then there were 5 boys. So now, you will confirm this. If any of you want to follow your Jewish lineage, you've got to have a mother that was Jewish. Fathers don't count. Right? You can only become a Jew through your mother. So you Finkelstein boys, you've got no hope. You've got no hope whatsoever. But Marius, Erica, Rodney, myself, we can go back tomorrow because our mothers were Finkelstein. And that gives us a direct lineage back into it. However, I'm not going to do it because I was never circumcised. And I'm not going to go through that.
But you always wanted the Jewish holidays at school.
Oh, I used to enjoy the Jewish holidays. So did Erica and Marius. We used to enjoy the Jewish holidays. And that really got me into a lot of trouble when I went into the army. Because as you say, in the army, if you didn't talk Afrikaans, you didn't get in. If you spoke English, you were 3rd down the line. If you were a Jew, you were other side of the fence. Okay, so that's all I want to say, boys, is the girls' war. And that was my mom, and that's Auntie Daphne. And Auntie Daphne, it's so great to see you again. All right, you're the highlight of my life. And of course, my cousin Marius and his sister.
Philip, are you finished?
Yes.
I was going to say, just explain when your mum was born, how your grandmother, because I don't know who knows the story.
I don't know if you guys know the story that when my mother was born, her grandmother came to help Omar with my mother, and she got off the train and walked behind another train and she was killed. And then when my mother was a baby, just been born. Right? Now the strange thing is my mom and dad came over to Australia. They lived there for 9 years, and my mom passed. And when we were starting to sort the paper out, we still don't really know what my mother's name was. Okay, because she was known as Christina, and I think all you guys used to call Auntie Chrissy. Okay, but we also have Andrina on paperwork.
We have on her extract of a birth certificate, it's Christina Angelina. When the grandparents passed away, the estate was divided up between all your fathers, and her name in the list is Christina Hendrina. And then the lawyers sent her a letter to Mrs. CD, which is Christina Davina. So were the lawyers right? Was the bank right? Was the death?
But it was Connie.
She hated her name, and she always liked to be called Connie.
Okay.
But,
My mother Connie in there too.
but I would think that she'd be named after the grandmother who passed away coming to see her, which was Hendrina.
My mother was Davina Christina. And I had her first name, Davina. That is actually my name.
Oh, Davina.
Yes. So Christina must have linked in with your mother.
Yeah. So it's really complicated.
So was she ever Angelina? Was she ever
No,
Angelina?
we never had.
But there was
No.
Never called her that.
No.
No, nobody called me that. They
No,
called
Auntie
Connie.
Auntie Christina. She called me Daphne. They all
Yeah.
called me Daphne.
Was Connie ever known as Angelina?
Yeah.
Okay.
So the two naughtiest cousins that I had was Maurice and Eric. They got me into so much trouble, and I'll show you how he's getting me into trouble again. I just went to the toilet, and Maurice asked me if I can ask you what happened to Frankie's. All right, guys, I rest my case. I hope that shows you where I fit into the party, okay?